Good evening. It is now morning in Jerusalem. Today is called Yom Yerushalayim, the Day of Jerusalem. And many people consider this the single worst day of the occupation of Israel on the West Bank. Well, let me tell you something. Jerusalem is nothing to the Arabs. They claim that it's the third most important site, but it's not mentioned at all in the Quran. Jerusalem is cited hundreds of times in the Jewish Bible. Jerusalem is the eternal and holy city of Israel. Only when something is true, only when something is right, can there be peace. Peace cannot be built upon a lie, or upon evil, or upon opportunism, or upon bad politics. The Jewish people were promised the Holy Land. That is part of the belief system of almost 2 billion Christians. That prophecy is found, or those prophecies are found in the Torah. Even if you don't want to believe, there's the history, there's the psychology. The Jewish people, for 20 centuries, have all dreamed of going to Jerusalem. We conclude our most important meal, called the Seder, with the Shana Haba B'Yerushalayim, next year in Jerusalem. And we actually mean next moment in Jerusalem, for we believe that at any moment Messiah can come and take us back to our holy land, to Jerusalem. You may think that this is quaint and old-fashioned, but even if it is in your mind, it is buried deep in the psychology of the Jewish people. The Jewish people will not rest and not be satisfied until Jerusalem is restored to its glory. That is the destiny of the Jewish people, and that is the truth. And only truth can create justice, and only truth can create peace. You cannot go ahead and try to impose a peace which goes against the sacred beliefs of an entire nation, because you're beholden to Arab oil. Now let's think about it for a second. The United States has got 5 times as much in reserve as the entire Saudi Arabia, but because of the politics of the left, you're prevented from developing that oil. Israel has discovered reserves that are just as big as the oil reserves of Saudi Arabia. So why do you go ahead and have to bow down to the Saudis? Israel will be independent. Israel will export energy. Israel will have an economy greater than Saudi Arabia's. That is the reality. Who do you think orchestrates that reality? Jimmy Carter? Barack Obama? The Ayatollah? Or does that come from God? If it comes from God, it's irresistible. It cannot be changed. And even if you don't believe in God, a bad peace ultimately leads to war. True peace requires the respect and the security of all involved. The suggestion by the President and by John Kerry and by the European Union that Israel cede all of the lands won in 67 will just expose Israel to danger, greater danger than before. You can't have a peace based upon making one group endangered while giving to another group who's never done anything for peace everything they want. So what's the reason why, in this juncture of Yom Yerushalayim, why are you so insistent? The answer is, you hate Israel. You hate Jerusalem. Ultimately, you hate the Jews. It's not something you should be proud of. Instead, be more practical. The Jewish people have survived and flourished against all odds. Go with the winner. Support the Day of Jerusalem. Support that the Jews should have access to the Temple Mount, as their ancestors did. As the founder of Christianity did, because he was a Jew. And he was able to enter the Temple Mount, even though the Romans controlled everything politically. But now they don't. The Jews control everything politically. And we're supposed to behave as if we're defeated when we are the victors. This is silliness, stupidity, and ultimately evil. This juncture, the Day of Jerusalem, should herald in a different era, a different thought process to the nations of the world. They should welcome Israel into the family of nations, where Israel has only given good to the nations at large. Jerusalem is the symbol of love, the symbol of peace, the symbol of holiness. It is the crown of the Jewish people.